This is my Year 10 Homework 1 Solutions video. The first thing I'd like to draw your attention to is this list here of prime numbers that I found on Google. You can see, obviously there's lots more than this, but this is the primes going up to about 200. Your job's to learn them up to about 50. If you could learn them maybe up to 100 here, 97 being the last one there, you'll help yourself out in exam conditions. On this homework, some of you have misidentified certain numbers as prime. For example, you might have thought 49 was prime, and you can see it's not in the list. So make sure you know what's prime and what isn't. Let's quickly go through the homework then. This is how you do it. Question 1, circle the primes: 7, 23, 53 and 59. Some of you missed 59 out actually. You possibly thought that wasn't prime. You can see it's in the list, it's just got two factors. One thing to point out is 49 definitely isn't prime. It divides by 7 as well as by 1 and 49. It's got too many factors, so definitely not 49. So those are your four answers. On to question 2. Primes from 10 to 20. We've got 11, 13, 17 and 19. Part B, again reading from the list or from memory hopefully, the primes between 30 and 40 are 31 and 37. On to question 3. Read the question. RTQ, some of you will notice I've written in your book. That stands for read the question. It says the prime less than 70, the largest prime less than 70, and actually quite a few of you put a bigger number than 70 as your answer there, so that can't be right. The actual answer is 67. Part B, all the primes between 40 and 50. You've got 41, 43 and 47. Moving on to something a little bit more complicated. It certainly needs a bit more of an explanation. And that brings me to a target for the group. When asked to explain something, you need to write a couple of sentences. You can't just write 42 is prime, full stop. 42 isn't prime, full stop. You know, there's no explanation there, is there? So what you should say is 42 is not a prime number. It has more than two factors, for example, and you could list several. So let's say 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 6 and 7. I've already listed way too many factors for it to be prime. If you write them down, it'll be clear that you understand the topic. On to question 5. Same again, some explanation required. 41 must be prime because it has exactly two factors, 41 and 1. On to question 6. An explanation of why there are no primes in that box. There are a few mistakes in the class. Some of you said because all the numbers are even, and if you look 55, 65, 75, they're not even. And also, that doesn't even work as an answer because 2 is even and 2 is prime. So you'd have to say the numbers with an even last digit have got too many factors because they divide by themselves and by 1 and by 2 plus by other things. You could also say these numbers here with 5 as the last digit divide by themselves and by 1 and by 5. Too many factors, can't be prime. Moving along. So the question that was the most difficult for a lot of you in the group, and again it's RTQ, read the question. It says what is their sum, and a lot of you did find out that 19 multiplied by 23 is 437, and you stop there. But actually it says what is their sum. The question wants you to give the sum of these two digits, these two integers that you found. So actually 19 add 23. So the answer to the question is actually 42. So be careful that you do actually answer the question rather than answering your own question. If you got as far as this here, you've got half of the marks on that question. You need to do this bit for both marks. On to the next question. This is the last question on the homework, and it needed more explanation from a lot of you. There were incorrect answers such as it doesn't matter which definition you use. There were incorrect answers such as the definition I learned at primary school was a prime number is something that divides by itself on 1, and that is a sufficient definition. It isn't, because that would imply that 1 is a prime, and it isn't. Listen to the correct definition and make sure you use this in the exam. A prime number is a number with exactly two factors. For example, 17. 17 has two factors, 1 and itself. That's the definition you need to use, and it will be the one that gets you the marks in the exam. That's it for this homework. Look out for homework 2 and the hint video that goes with it. Thank you.